Less than a year since it started, those involved with the co-responder unit in Joplin say it's helping them address people in crisis in an impactful way. I'm Samantha Walker, and I'll have that story coming up.
Plus, some students in Carthage serve up their technical skills for a very sweet challenge. And some famous Missourians come to life at Steadley Elementary in Carthage for a fun-filled history lesson.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The Joplin Police Department says they're already seeing a positive impact just 6 months after the development of their co-responder unit, which helps pair mental health professionals with community members in crisis. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Dow Quick. KOAM Samantha Walker is live outside the police department with details.
That's right, Dow. The co-responder unit is a partnership between JPD and the Ozark Center, helping to send mental health professionals out into the field. These co-responders respond to situations where crime hasn't necessarily been committed, but someone's in crisis. It's common for Joplin police officers to respond to the same people when it comes to situations from homelessness to substance abuse.
It's a cycle. It's a spin. You have a person who's going through some type of crisis in their life on the street. Officers get there because the situation is unsafe or a person doesn't typically know how to handle the situation. The officer can call these co-responders. They arrive and they can put their heads together and say, hey, this person doesn't need to be in jail.
The co-responders unit focuses on de-escalation techniques, helping those in crisis find the resources they need, from shelter to medical care.
You have a person who is trained as a mental professional. They can assess the situation, see, okay, this person needs to go to the hospital versus, hey, this person doesn't need to go to jail.
Co-responders are not police officers, and they intentionally don't wear police uniforms on scene.
So it allows them to feel a little more comfortable to open up and tell me what's really going on.
But they are still embedded into the department.
This is not a standalone, separate entity, but these folks are embedded physically inside the police department so that they can work closely with police officers and police command.
Chief Pearson says one of the biggest impacts they see the co-responders have had is that use of force numbers have gone down significantly.
In years past, the only tool that an officer had in their toolkit to deal with people in these situations was arrest, which meant they had to go hands-on with the person, and that led sometimes to uses of force. Well, with these civilian co-responders, they arrive on scene, and many times that means that they can have a non-traditional resolution.
They say now they have people actively seeking out help by going to the Joplin Police Department and asking for someone from the co-responder unit.
When we build trust with them, it means a lot because I know they're struggling.
I don't see this problem with drug and alcohol addiction going away anytime soon. I don't see the problem with homelessness going away anytime soon. So as long as these folks are in our community and they need our help, we have to have a program like this.
Now, Dow, there are currently 3 full-time co-responders working with the department. They say they hope to expand the program and the hours they're available as more people become aware of it. Reporting live in Joplin, I'm Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
All right, Samantha, thanks for that live report. Let's check in with meteorologist Lindsay Gaffney now for a first look at the weather.
Well, temperatures got up to the upper 70s, about 79 degrees today. You can see we're already starting to drop back down into the mid 70s. Still sunny, though we did see an isolated shower or two out in the southeastern counties, but the rest of us stayed dry, and even out in Kansas and Oklahoma, got a lot of sunshine today versus out in the Missouri and Arkansas side. A lot of clouds and, again, a few of those isolated showers. But as we head through the rest of the evening, all of those clouds are going to start to push back out of the area, and we're back to sunny skies as we head through the overnight hours. Now, temperatures are dropping down into the upper 50s for overnight low, with our highs on Tuesday getting into the low 80s, about 83 degrees for the high. But we actually have warmer temperatures in store for us later in the week, 87 on Wednesday. But I'm going to have those details coming up.
All right, we'll catch you in a few. Students at the Carthage Tech Center wrapped up a 3-week project by presenting their own custom chocolate bar creations. Yeah, beats the usual homework. The final assignment of the year tasks students with developing a chocolate recipe, designing packaging, and creating a marketing strategy.
So it's fun to see them come up with creative ideas and then also learn from their mistakes. So that's one of the best parts of testing is you think something might be really good, but then sometimes it doesn't turn out as good. So
teachers at the Tech Center judged that very sweet competition. Way to go, teachers. A Missouri history, well, it came to life at Steadley Elementary in Carthage today. The third graders celebrated the end of the school year with the annual Famous Missourians project. Students got to choose a famous Missourian to become, sort of, and tell that person's story. Part of the transformation was dressing like that person, of course, and learning all about their life. Family, friends, and the public got to come out to the Steadley Library and listen to the presentations.
The main goal of this is to really learn about some Missouri history and also to kind of work on just their public speaking and presenting to other people.
A different third grade class will present their own famous Missourians each morning this week. Public turned out today for a ribbon-cutting ceremony on a new location for a 30-year-old Joplin staple. That story's coming up. But up first, area schools might be rolling up on summer break, but many student loans are not. Some advice for dealing with those loans coming up.
Attention. Interior space. Find it all at Tony's Garden Center on South Santa Fe in Chanute.
As students all over the 4 states move into the graduation time of this school year, a financial plan and burden might await them, many of them anyway, if they plan on entering college. KOAM's Lonnie Walton spoke with an expert from Arvest Bank in Joplin who says 97% of 2024 college graduates feel unprepared to budget and manage student loan repayments.
I talked to a student here at Pitt State who says although he has some grants to help him pay for college, he says he'll be paying for the rest out of pocket.
One day open the school for behavioral kids who have behavioral issues. That's kind of like my biggest dream, biggest goal I want to achieve.
Thomas Mayhew is excited because he will graduate with his bachelor's degree in sociology this week. He says he's passionate about working with kids.
Give back and provide and give a safe place for kids who are sometimes overlooked, for sure.
All that studying is great, but the price isn't. Mayhew says he has some grants for college, but
FAFSA and student loans is kind of the go-to.
Mayhew, along with other students, are on the right track with student loans, according to Jenna Smith of Arvest Bank. She says many students wouldn't be able to attend college without them.
It's important to understand the type of student loan you have and to understand the type of repayment system that you're going to have, because every student loan is going to be a little bit different.
Some people don't like credit cards, but according to Smith, they can be a great asset if you know how to use them.
You can use your credit card to make all of your purchases and then pay it off in one lump sum at the end of every month. And that's a way that you can also earn rewards.
Finally, Smith says if you want to succeed at this, you're going to have to budget.
Sure, you understand the difference between your wants and your needs. Obviously, paying off your student loans is going to be a need.
With all this information, I asked Mayhew how worried he was about those loans.
Yeah, a little bit.
Reporting in Pittsburgh, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
Arvest Bank says 60% of high school juniors and seniors say they don't feel capable of managing their own credit. A little bit later, the Gorillas set their sights on NCAA tournament glory. John Dales has a preview of what lies ahead for Pitt State baseball team. That's coming up in sports.
And we have a bit of a heat wave coming up this week, plus thunderstorms in the forecast. I'll have those details right after this. Well, it's been a really wonderful past weekend and Monday. We were in the upper 70s, low 80s for the last couple of days. You can see, taking a look at our almanac, 79 degrees today with a low of 52. So we're pretty close to average. Now taking a look outside downtown Joplin from the Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex. You can see the camera shaking a little bit. So we've got some winds gusting up to 15, 20 miles per hour. We also have a few of those clouds pushing in from the east due to that low pressure system that's just been cut off out in the southeast for the last several days. It did bring us a nice little warm up, which continues through the rest of the evening and into the next couple of days. Tonight we're dropping down through the 70s and into the low 60s, upper 50s. And then as we head through Tuesday, we talked about going up to the low 80s to mid 80s. But as we start Wednesday morning, we're going to be in the mid to upper 60s. And then our high for the day, upper 80s. So So it's going to be our little taste of summertime. You can see nearby cities, Kansas City, 92 degrees, Wichita, 94, Oklahoma City, 96 degrees. So we're all going to warm up at least through the mid half of the work week. And then we've got a dry line pushing through, so you can see where those winds shift. This is going to be overnight Wednesday into Thursday morning. Not expecting any rain chances along that dry line. However, it is going to drop our temperatures just a little bit. So as we're starting the morning off, we're only getting down to the upper 60s, low 70s. So it's going to be a very warm night, Wednesday night into Thursday, with our high only getting up to the low 80s. And then we have thunderstorm chances moving in after that, starting on Friday. We've got our low pressure system already making an appearance on Thursday morning, but it doesn't affect us until we start to see those showers popping up midday Friday. Now, thunderstorm chances move in later in the evening. We've got our cold front draped down just to the south of us Friday. That could change, could move over into our area, and we have a lot of energy in the atmosphere Friday night, so we could see some pretty strong to severe storms. Now, those thunderstorm chances and rain shower chances continue through the weekend with another round of thunderstorms late Saturday night. You can see just isolated thunderstorms just to the north of Joplin. And then heading into Sunday, another potential round for severe storms coming in Sunday night. So it is a few days away, but I wanted to take a look. We've got severe potential Friday all the way through Tuesday, just recurring chances of storms. Starting Friday, main threat is going to stay mostly south of I-44 out towards the east of us, but we're going to keep an eye on that. It could change. And then Saturday, we talked about those isolated storms just to the north of us and near Kansas City and south. Now, Sunday, that's going to be moving in from the southwest from Texas, Oklahoma, and all the way up to our area and then out to the east. So we're going to keep an eye on all three of these days, but those storms don't stop until Tuesday. So definitely remain weather aware this weekend and into early next week. Temperatures stay in the 80s all the way through the weekend. We start to drop back down to average, which is the mid to upper 70s now this time of year after all of those storms clear out on Tuesday.
Some nice and really close to hot days, and then boom, back to spring-like storms.
Exactly.
Pretty quickly. Thanks. Community Blood Center of the Ozarks marked the grand opening of its new Joplin Donor Center with this ribbon-cutting ceremony. The Blood Center has fulfilled the role of the sole supplier of blood, platelets, and plasma to 45 area hospitals across southwest Missouri, northwest Arkansas, and southeast Kansas for 30 years. Joplin Mayor Keenan Cortez presented a proclamation recognizing CBCO's decades of service to the community.
We felt like it was important to get closer to the hospitals for donation. And then also, as you see, it's a much bigger location than we had in Joplin. Our size there was about 1,700 square feet, and we've got 3,200 square feet here. So it's enabled us to expand our reach here in the Joplin area.
The new location on East 32nd Street replaces the former site inside the North Park Mall. CBCO is hosting a week of daily giveaways to thank donors for their continued support. Still ahead, Fairland Slow Pitch Softball competes at the state tournament, and Pitt State Baseball earns its seed for the NCAA tournament. John Dales has those stories and more up next in sports.
Pittsburgh.
Fairland Slow Pitch Softball earned its spot in the Class 3A state tournament about a week and a half ago. Now, it was supposed to take place last Tuesday, but because of inclement weather, gets postponed until today. And the Lady Owls win their first game of the day at state 4-3 over Tushka. After 11 days off, Fairland really doesn't look rusty at all, handing the Lady Tigers just their 9th loss of the season. All of the state tournament games get played in the same day, so the Owls advance to the semifinals just a few hours later. In that semifinal game, Fairland takes on Arapahoe Butler. Indians blew out Dewar in their first game of the day, 13-2. As we come on the air, they're in the 7th and final inning of this one. Owls up 4-0. If this score holds, Fairland will play for the state championship later tonight. Well, Pittsburgh State Baseball had a disappointing first-round exit in the MIAA tournament late last week, but the Gorillas have to quickly put that in their rearview mirror, and late last night, they hope to hear their name called in the NCAA tournament selection show. The Gorillas do, in fact, get selected to the 2025 NCAA tournament. They're one of 56 teams to make it, and a deeper run in the MIAA tournament might have led to Pitt State hosting a regional here in Pittsburgh, but instead, as the 3 seed, PSU will travel up to Mankato, Minnesota. Here's a look at the bracket for the Central region. Central Missouri is the other host, so seeds 2, 3, 6, and 7 will all be part of the same quad at Minnesota State. Same format as we just saw last week for softball, double elimination until only 1 of 4 teams remain. Now you just saw that sets up a battle on Thursday between the 3-seed Gorillas and 6-seed Henderson State. The Reddies finished as the runner-up in the GAC tournament this past weekend. We'll hear from the Gorillas before they leave for Minnesota later this week. And as I just mentioned, Pittsburgh State and Missouri Southern softball took part in the NCAA regionals at the end of last week. Neither the Lions nor the Gorillas advanced to the Super Regionals, but a few individuals do get named to the all-region teams released this afternoon. Katie Gray and Kiki Pickens from Missouri Southern are on the first team, along with Heather Arnett from Pitt State. Then on the second team, Southern freshman Bailey Dillon and PSU senior Courtney Story. In Major League Baseball, the Cardinals and Royals renew their rivalry this weekend in Kansas City. Both of them have been great in the month of May. We'll start with the Redbirds. They've won 8 games in a row, which puts them in second place in the NL Central, just a game behind the Cubs for first place. Tonight, St. Louis starts a 3-game road set with the Phillies in Philadelphia. Series opener just got underway at 5:45. I'll give you a score update later tonight at 9 and 10. The Royals had won 7 in a row before losing a couple to the Red Sox over the weekend. They're just 2.5 games behind the Tigers for the division lead in the American League Central. Tonight, KC also on the road. They're set for a 7-10 start down in Houston against the Astros. I'll update you on this score as well later tonight at 9 and 10. Regardless of how these series go, should be fun when the Royals and Cardinals take on each other in a few days.
Absolutely. A lot of people have a rooting interest. They're just not the same rooting interest around here. We'll be right back. Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14 tonight. The president signs an executive order aimed at lowering the cost of prescription drugs. Plus, as students prep for finals, graduation, and job searches, we're going to look at strategies to combat anxiety and stress. And a familiar face scares up some fans at the Barco Drive-In Theater in Lamar. Those stories, a lot more, of course. It's coming up tonight. KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. Freeman Health System served up National Hospital Week with an all-employee cookout today. The event, held under the ambulance bay, marked the start of a week-long celebration across all campuses. National Hospital Week honors healthcare workers and hospital systems nationwide.
Being a part of Freeman Health System, I've been here almost 22 years. I love that they really go above and beyond to recognize and celebrate their employees.
And I feel like I can almost smell those burgers out there. The American Hospital Association established National Hospital Week back in 1921. Actually began as National Hospital Day. Nice for them to get some recognition. It's a good day for this, being outside.
Oh yeah, it was. Today we got up to the upper 70s, but through the rest of the week we're going to be in the 80s with our highest temperature on Wednesday, 87, and then thunderstorm chances start Friday.
Of course they will. Final sports note.
Fairland slow pitched that game in the semifinals. They're into extra innings, so they're going to have to pull it out late if they want to advance to the state title game. And of course, I'll have updates later.
We'll look forward to that. Thanks for joining us. We're going to see you right back here for KOAM News at 10. Let's make it a great evening.